favorite part of the trip was when we went to the beach on the last day, and we took an hour-long boat ride out of the beach into like a private white sand little private beach. But the water was absolutely clear, and we had snorkeling gear, and we went snorkeling around and found fish and pufferfish and eels and everything, and hunting for shells, tanning on the beach. It was just a really relaxing day from a long trip.
My favorite activity on the trip was probably going snorkeling, and me and Alec went snorkeling and we saw this giant eel like going across the bottom. It was really cool.
My favorite part of the trip was ziplining, because it was like a canopy tour, so like the zip lines never really stopped and you were attached to a rope in between zip lines. It was pretty cool just like going across all the nature really high above.
My favorite volunteer part of the trip was we went to this one school with kids from age like 6 to 12, and we played volleyball and soccer, and we drew with them and played bubbles with them and just like entertained them for the day. And there was this one little boy, and I was down playing with him. We were playing with bubbles, and he was probably about 6 years old, and he really had nothing. And we gave him juice boxes and little churros, and he immediately looked at me and asked me if I wanted any, and I said no, but he insisted, and he shared it with me anyways. And it just shows that people, even though they don't have many things, they're still like really willing to share, and it just kind of melted my heart. It's really great.
My favorite volunteer activity was probably we took these students to a bookstore and helped them pick out a bunch of different materials they needed for school, and we paid for it.
The host family situation is something that after my third trip into a different country, we began to do host families. And people, since that time, most people say that that's one of their favorite things, because they get to know people in the country and they get to spend time. They eat better food, they're talking to people in very natural ways, they're learning about their lifestyles.
Something that I really liked about my host family was that it was small, so there was like one mom, and then we had a brother that was there sometimes. And the mom spoke only Spanish, so it was kind of funny like trying to see the language barrier working. But when the brother was home, we spoke English to him all the time. He was really funny. And the only thing I didn't really like about the homestay was that there was only cold water. So it was like a transition between hot, like always taking hot showers. But it wasn't bad because we sweat all day.
The way the families are set up is that the company that we work with goes out and interviews families to be sure that they're interested for the right reasons, that they're good families, that they'll be a good match for kids and all of that kind of thing. And then they are just placed with another person, so they're never alone.
Pros and cons of my host family, I'd say a pro was they were just really nice, really supportive. They were really like active in what we wanted to do, and they gave us plenty of food. But cons were not being able to speak with them as much as I wanted to. It was sort of awkward because there was that language barrier. But I would definitely go on this trip again, just because it was a great experience. We had plenty of fun, but you learned a ton too.
Then the family, takes them in and they talk about everything. It gives you a way to talk about yourself. You have your photo album, and their Spanish gets better because of their family, and they learn about how people around the world are the same. And family is important wherever you go.